A part of any cult involves the cult's leaders telling their followers that they're not in a cult, that what they're doing is totally normal and everyone else is in the wrong. And we see this at the moment with what I refer to as the TQ cult. The more delusional and militant members of the trans, queer and non-binary communities, the people who took the kindness and acceptance of the L's, the G's and the B's in the LGBTQIA+ community and are now going through said community like a particularly aggressive cancer. We're about to see a clip from, I'm not entirely sure what it is, I think it's a drag queen with substance misuse problems. And he's trying to make the argument, firstly, that being trans and being gay are sort of the same thing, which of course they aren't. Being gay is a sexuality and being trans is an identity, and also that being trans is normal throughout the animal kingdom. Don't watch this if you're eating.
Nature is gay and clownfish are trans. No, really, they are. All clownfish are born as males, but when the dominant female in a school of fish dies, a male can transition to female and take her place. And it's not just clownfish. The ability to transition between sexes has been documented in thousands of other species. From striped maple trees that can change their biological sex multiple times in their lifetime, and yes, trees have sexes, to banana slugs that are hermaphrodites, have both male and female sexual organs, inseminate each other at the same time, double the pleasure, double the fun, and they have giant penises. So while humans might need some more help transitioning is nothing but natural. Nature is gay, and Mother Nature, she's a lesbian. Finding Nemo really should have ended differently. Bye now!
Finding Nemo would have been a very different movie if it had been accurate to the natural world. Because near the start of the film, Nemo's father, who I think was called Marlin, he would have changed sex and then fucked his son. That doesn't sound very Disney. Actually, in 2024, I think Disney would run with that. Clownfish, and many species of fish, given the right circumstances, can change sex. So can many trees. And if our brightly coloured gender-bending friend had done a bit of research, he'd know that all slugs and snails are hermaphrodites. Although it does take a special type of pervert to apparently get turned on looking at a slug's cock. Now, it doesn't take David fucking Attenborough to realise that slugs, fish and trees aren't human. And our friend has missed something really important. Half the human race has already transitioned. Because when a woman is pregnant, and only women can get pregnant, for the first 7 weeks all human fetuses are female. If you're watching this and you're a chap, if you've ever wondered what that line that runs up the middle of your scrotum is, that's where your vagina used to be. Learning's fun, isn't it? But then when a human fetus changes from female to male, that's it. Humans cannot change sex. And in the animal kingdom, an animal will change sex for the survival of the species. Whereas in the human world, a male child can start to appear to look like a female child if he picks up a Barbie doll and his parents are woke progressive Guardian readers. And as for saying that Mother Nature is a lesbian, the TQ cult are trying to change the definition of that word.
After coming out as a trans woman, I got to have my first lesbian experience. Growing up, I had the same thoughts about lesbians that most red-blooded American males had. Like lesbians are so hot, man. They're like kissing and stuff. It's so hot. So once I did experience it, I can honestly say, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Before we even get into this, how many fucking filters is that guy using? Or is it normal in some parts of the USA, if you're going to record yourself on your cell phone, to make sure you're sat opposite a 10,000 watt bulb? And of course, he isn't a lesbian. He's a cross-dressing fetishist, a condition known as autogynephilia, where men get off imagining that they're women. Of course, I don't know what went on, and I don't want to imagine it, but I doubt it was hot. So let's presume that his partner was an actual woman. That doesn't make him a lesbian. It makes him a heterosexual man who's a cross-dressing pervert. And of course, we shouldn't be surprised that now the TQ cult is trying to say that biological men can be lesbians. It's misogyny. It's the same as men competing in women's sports and invading women's spaces. It's about power and control. I've said it many times. But I can't think of anything more misogynistic than a man dressing as a woman and then demanding he's given women's rights. Another very common cult-like behaviour is threatening non-believers with violence.
Let's normalize slapping transphobes in 2024. I don't care if you're a man or a woman, like, you're gonna get fucking hit if you start talking shit like that to me or my friends. It's not okay. Like, the fuck? And not only that, this chick on this video is like fucking talking about the N-word and using the T-slur and like all that fucking hateful rhetoric in one. And of course she's like drunk, like I'm sure a lot of that's alcohol, but still, like, you trying to get hit or what, girl? Because I'm sorry, like, at a certain point, it's what you deserve.
We can all see that lass was gobbing off at the start of the clip, but we don't know the context. Maybe she just doesn't like trans people. It's not yet fucking compulsory. Or maybe the trans person had done something. Now, I'm not saying this is the case in this situation, but it's very common for trans women to record themselves going into women's toilets. But hey, it's not a fetish. Never in all my years on this earth have I thought, I need a piss, I best get my mobile out to document it. Yet, advocating violence for anyone who essentially doesn't agree with you, that's what toddlers do. So, what's the word I'm looking for when an adult is acting like a child? Retarded, that's what I was thinking. But our friend made a mistake for his own woke ideology. At the start of that clip, he said it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Mate, you just admitted there are only two genders. Recently, there's also been a rise in what are known as sissification videos. This is when grown men act typically like little girls. I've got a clip coming up which I've had to mute to get around copyright, but please bear in mind, the man in this video has recorded it and then put it on the internet of his own free will. For God's sake, man, show some fucking shame. Exercise some dignity, or at least self-respect. Is it just me, or is that pure cult-like behaviour? Imagine working with that guy. Asking him on Monday morning, what did you do at the weekend? If he replies, I dressed up as a young girl and tried to play with a skipping rope. If it were me, I would reply, check yourself in, mate. There's something fucking wrong there. So that's the end of this video, and once again, we've seen a number of people who make the Branch Davidians look sensible. As ever, thanks for watching. An important part of any cult is to fuck the first lineup. Finding Nemo would have been a very different film if at the fucked it up. Wondering why you have that line that runs up your scrotum. Sorry, it's that cold out here, I've lost mine. Take David at... God. Ugh. And... Shut up, you noisy prick. I'm at a nature reserve and I can hear someone revving up a quad bike. The noise that heralds the arrival of a moron.